One of the biggest questions today is AI, and should animators use it? Well, today I am going to answer that question, so stay tuned. Hey friend, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel, the channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation. And if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a brand new video. And if you are new to animation and you don't know what you're gonna need to start off your journey, well, I created the animation startup guide, and in this guide I list all the different 2D animation as well as 3D animation software, and then additional software like script writing, storyboarding, etc., as well a list of famous drawing tablet brands. So basically this guide consists of everything you're going to need with links, so you can just click on it and you can check out the specs, the prices. Some of them you can download the free trial so you can try it out. So it's just a great way for you to have all the information and to make an informed decision. So if you want that guide, in the description box below there's a link. Just click there and I will send that guide to you. Now, today we are going to talk about AI, and it is a very controversial topic. But the reason why I'm going to talk about this is because last week in my live streaming, I do my live streamings every Tuesday, so feel free to join me. Um, I just sit and draw, and yeah, people ask questions and we just chat, etc. So it's a great time. So feel free to join me every Tuesday. But someone last week asked, how do I use AI in my animation workflow? Or he actually asked, how can he use AI? And I use AI in my workflow, so I'm not ashamed. And the reason why he's asking is not that he wants to use AI for his animations. That is not the question. He just wants to know, how can you use AI in your workflow? And that's what I'm going to focus on today. And this is how I use AI. So I think everyone uses it differently for different reasons. But I'm just going to share with you how I use it, and let me know in the comments. Do you use AI? Should we use AI? I would love to hear you. I think this is a very controversial topic. Okay, so let's start off with how you should not use AI. Let's get that out of the way, because I think that is where a lot of the arguments will come from. Yes, you can't do this and you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this. So let's start off with that. The first thing you shouldn't do is you shouldn't use AI to do your animations for you, because then you are not an animator. Um, if you are using AI to do your animations for you, well, then good luck. this this video is not for you. I am talking about animators who take their craft seriously. Okay, so that's the first thing. Um, don't use AI for to create all of your animations. The second one is, don't use AI to design your characters for you. A lot of people will just say, or go to Chat GPT and say, here is what I want for my character, what he should look like, and an AI will give him a character, and then he uses that, he will rig that, and there he goes. That is still not your character. If it's still, it feels like you are using AI um and claim it as your own character. You still want to create your own characters. Okay, so don't just let AI give you a character and you use that, you rig it, and there you go. Okay, so that's the second one. And the third one, it shouldn't write your story or write your script. Okay, yes, you can use it. I use it for story development. I use it, my first language is Afrikaans. So when I write an English script, I run it through Chat GPT just to fix my grammar. If you listen to all my videos, you will know my English, it's not my first language. I make a lot of grammar mistakes. So I use AI to help me with that. Okay, but don't say or tell ChatGPT, write me a script on the following, and it writes you a script and then you animate that. That is also not your story. And that is the key for me. The key thing to take away is when you have finished your product, your animation project, is it still yours? Did you still do the animation? The characters, is it still characters that you created? Is it still the story? Is it still your story that you are telling? I think that is the key thing. You should never lose that. Okay. Never let, um, after you finish the project, say, okay, the AI did the animation. It created the characters for me. It is the AI wrote the story. It's so you get the difference. You, at the end of the day, you still want to look at your project and say, "I did that," but you just used a tool, which is AI, and there's very different other tools. When I actually thought about this when I prepared for this video. Um, why one thing that should have replaced animation is mocap, and it never did. Okay, at the end of the day, mocap just became another tool. And I always say, um, animation will never die as long as there are people who appreciate the art. Okay, so if there, as long as there's people like me and you who love animation, AI will never replace us because we will sit and animate. So that is the thing. You will allow AI to replace your work, and that is not the purpose of this video. There's mocap that could have taken over animation, but it just became a tool. There's still animators who loves the craft, who loves the artwork, the art form, and they will still sit and animate. And that is um, who this video is for. Okay, so now how do I use AI? Okay, so the first thing is AI should be a tool, and I've mentioned that. It shouldn't replace everything, it's just another tool like mocap. It is like a drawing tablet. The Walt Disney and those guys, they drew on paper and they painted on cells, and they would say, "Oh, this computer is gonna just remove everything." But at the end of the day, the drawing tablet is just another tool. You're still drawing, you still have to color. It makes up, it speeds up the process very faster. So use AI as a tool. Um, so that is the first thing. Then how I use AI. The first one is character development, not character design, but character development. Now, again, last week in my live stream, I did. I'm currently working on a 2D character for a project I'm working on, and the character I want to create is Noah from the Bible, Noah's Ark. And so what I did was I asked ChatGPT certain questions. For example, from the Bible, what characteristics can we take from Noah? Okay, how can we apply this to his look? And ChatGPT gave me quite a different outlook on Noah. For example, he said Noah could have big hands because it shows he is a hard worker because he had to build the ark. And I thought, I never thought about it. Another thing, when we think of biblical characters, especially old guys, we think of someone with a long beard. And ChatGPT said he probably will have a shorter beard so that his beard isn't in the way when he's building the ark. And I thought, I never thought about it. So again, I came up with, I want to create this character, and you can join my live stream while I'm creating it so that you can see I'm not, ChatGPT is not designing the character for me, but I'm sharing ideas and I'm getting feedback and I'm getting new perspectives that I didn't think of. Okay. So I use ChatGPT for character development. Now, another live stream I did is I'm currently working on my own film, a 3D animated film. And so one of the live streams I also did, you can go check it out if you want, is where I provided ChatGPT with all the information regarding one of my characters in this form. So the script is already written. I've already done my character profiles, everything before AI came out. I wrote the script more probably 10 years ago, if not more. So I already knew everything about my character, but what I did is I've entered all of that information into ChatGPT and I said, um, what would you recommend this character look like? What will the color palette be, etc. And so ChatGPT gave me a design of the character, and he thought, okay, I actually like that, so now I can use that and I can create my own character myself. So if I can show you an example, on the right hand side is what ChatGPT gave me with a light denim jacket, with a denim pink shirt, the ponytail, etc. And then on the left is a character that I've created inside Character Creator. And I've went and I've purchased a denim jacket, the shirt, the hairstyles, etc. And I still want to make some adjustments. I want the pink to be a lot more the same pink as in the AI image. I want the denim jacket to also be lighter. I want a necklace with a music note, all of those things. So I'm still working on it. But as you can see, I've used ChatGPT to give me a recommendation of what the character could like. I was happy with what ChatGPT gave me, and so now I'm using that and I'm creating my very own character. Now, just quickly, if you want to see me make this 3D form, I have you can in the description. I'll put a link. You can click there, and you can sign up. It is $99 per year, so it's less than $10 a month, and you see how I create the characters, all the decision making I need to make, etc. So it is a great learning tool. There's a lot of videos there already because I've recently started and I'm releasing videos there weekly. And currently we are working on designing some characters, the fun part. So feel free to join me. Um, I would love to see you inside. But that is how I use AI to create my characters. It doesn't create the characters for me, I still create it, but I use it for reference. I'm adding my character information to ChatGPT and say, based on this information, what will the color palette be? What will the outfit that the character will wear? What will that probably look like? And so you kind of provide your ideas, your character, and you work from the feedback. So that is how I do it. The second thing, how I use ChatGPT is for research. I've mentioned when it comes to color theory. I don't know much about color theory. In the past, I just Googled, I just say, I've got this character, what color best represents this characteristic or personality. For example, if someone is greedy, incorporate green because green is money. A great movie that represents this is Inside Out. So yeah, in the past I've used Google, but now I just use it for research when I need more information to make my characters or my story better. And then finally, story structure. So a story is built on structure. It has act one, act two, act three, beginning, middle, and end, but it also should have beats. Okay, so those who have ever written a script will know a story should have beats. And so, how I've used ChatGPT in the past with actually with a project I'm also working on at the moment is I've given ChatGPT my whole synopsis of the story, everything that's going to happen. And I say, can you take what I've given you and add structure to it? Add the 15 beats a story should have, add it beginning, middle, and end. And so it took my synopsis, my story concept, and it just gave it structure. And now I have structure that I can work from and I write my script. And then again, like I've mentioned earlier, if there's any grammar mistakes, I just ask ChatGPT to fix that for me as well. But it is a great tool just to improve what you have already done. And I think that is the key. Okay. So use AI not to do the work for you, but to improve the work you've already done. Okay. Like my examples, I can use it for research to make my story more believable, to add the right colors to my characters. I can use AI for my character development to make it more relatable and believable. I can add it to my story structure so that my story becomes better. So, as you can see, the difference, I'm not using AI to do the work for me. I'm using AI to make my work better. And that is how I use AI. And I think that is the correct way to use AI, because what is the difference of asking ChatGPT for questions and Googling it? We've been using Google now for decades, and it hasn't replaced animation. But it is a great tool that we've used. But ChatGPT is so much faster than Google. So I use it as a tool. So let me know in the comments below how you use AI. Should we use AI? And what are the other ways that you are using AI in your workflow? I would love to hear from you. And yeah, again, if you would love to join me on my journey as I make my first animation film, there's a link in the description. I would love to see you inside. And yeah, it is actually great fun. We are now in the process of creating some characters. And so from me, God bless. I will see you guys next week with another video, or hopefully I'll see you Tuesday for my live stream. So from me, God bless and happy animating.